Hello friends, my name is B.B. Arjun. I am working as a lecturer in English in the Department of Science and Humanities, Government Polytechnic Kolhapur. Today, we shall talk about oral communication. After watching this video, you will be able to define oral communication. You will also be able to estimate advantages and disadvantages of oral communication. You will be aware of the characteristics of oral communication. Now let us see what is oral communication. Now, oral communication is a type of communication where we use word of mouth. It means spoken words. Now this is the type of communication which is used for most of the time by us. Here are some examples of oral communication. Face-to-face conversation or the conversations being done with the help of some kind of mechanical or electrical devices like mobile phone, video conferencing devices, etc. Oral communication is also used in group discussions, for counseling, interviews, radio, television, telephone calls, as I said earlier, staff meetings, business meetings, personal discussions, presentations, informal conversations, public presentations such as speeches, lectures, conferences, teleconferences, video conferences, seminars, and so on. Now let us see the definitions of oral communication. Oral communication takes place in face-to-face conversations, group discussions, telephone calls, and other circumstances in which spoken word is used to express meaning. Now, this is the definition given by Ricky Griffin. If you look at the last part of this definition, it reads like this: in which spoken word is used to express meaning. Here it implies that spoken words, they're not just spoken words, they're not just spoken sounds, but they are loaded with meaning. The next definition is by S.K. Kapoor. Let us see. Oral communication takes place when spoken words are used to transfer information and understanding from one person to another. Now, here are the characteristics of oral communication. Oral communication is fundamental to the development of literacy. When a child learns to listen and speak, he learns to impart knowledge and information. So he or she gets a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, and he or she becomes aware of the surrounding. And so this is the beginning of his or her literacy. So oral communication is fundamental to the development of literacy. It is also essential for developing thinking and learning. If you involve for more and more time in communication by way of oral communication, then it helps you to develop your thinking, it helps you to develop your learning. Now, clear pronunciation. Whenever you involve in a communication situation, especially the oral communication, then you must have a very clear pronunciation. If you do not have, then you are likely to uh, lead your audience in misunderstanding, and therefore you must have your pronunciation very clear. So to get such a clear pronunciation, you can undergo a practice of loud reading for 10 minutes every day, and you shall find that your speech will be refined. So let us try this practice. Then preparation. Whatever kind of communication event is, one must be prepared, and go one must go with the plan. So prepare your speech first, and then go for your discourse. Unity and integration. Your message should be planned in such a way that it would appear as if a whole body of message. So do likewise. Precision. Now precision means uh, to express yourself, your message in exact words. If you really do so, then you shall find that your discourse is precise. When you use exact words to express some idea, then you may not need to use extra words, more words to explain that idea, and it will automatically make your discourse precise. Now, natural voice. When we stand to speak something publicly or in a formal setup, then we are likely to get our voice affected. So try to avoid this kind of affectation, this kind of change in your voice. Try to be normal, try to be natural as far as your voice is concerned. It will offer you confidence and simplicity. Now, planning. As I said earlier, that you need to plan your discourse, you need to plan your message, and go accordingly. Simplicity. Now, simplicity is a thing which is difficult to observe, but it doesn't mean that we cannot attain simplicity. See, if we uh, would like to attain simplicity in case of our oral discourse, then try to use simple words, simple expressions, shorter and simple sentences. Try to use active voice rather than passive voice, and this will make your discourse simple. Legality. When you stand to speak, always support your discourse, your message with facts. It will offer legality to your discourse. Avoid emotions. While speaking, we must not be under the influence of excessive surge of any emotion. It will destroy our message, it will distract our audience. So try to avoid emotions while communicating with others. Use of body language. Now, your oral message and body language go hand in hand. Use of body language add meaning and effectiveness to your message. So, use appropriate body language cues such as eye contact, facial expression, uh, gestures. It means the movement of your body and hands and leg, your posture, your dress code appropriately. Efficiency. Efficiency refers to the effective use of time and your skills. So if you are skilled enough and if you are having good idea of managing time, manipulating time, then your discourse will automatically become efficient. Vocabulary. Vocabulary here implies use of word, choice of word, or diction. Now use simple words, use familiar words, try to avoid difficult and bombastic ornamental words, technical jargons. It will hinder as a barrier on part of audience. So therefore, use familiar words and expressions when you speak. Now here are some of the advantages of oral communication. Oral communication facilitates immediate feedback. As we said earlier, that it takes a little time to converse with each other. So here we get immediate feedback from listener or receiver. And if we get such a feedback, then we can go for next message. So it saves time as well. It is economical. It means it saves you money. A little or no money is invested when we communicate orally. Now, personal touch. We know that when we speak with each other, it leads to developing a rapport with the person. It may also lead to developing a kind of relationship with the person. And when we speak personally to some person, then we try to develop, try to give a personal touch to your conversation. Now, oral communication is interactive and it offers flexibility. This is true about oral communication. In oral communication, both speaker and listener can communicate with each other in turn, and it becomes a two-way process. It becomes interactive, and it makes your communication event fruitful. So, uh, this is one of the very important advantages of oral communication. Moreover, it is flexible. Yes, it is true. We can change our message according to the situation, according to the need of your audience, according to the circumstances. And this kind of flexibility may not be offered by any kind of communication. Now, secrecy. You can maintain secrecy by using oral communication. If you maintain something in written form, then it can be procured, it can be stored, it can be produced as a proof. But if you speak something, then it may not be stored. So it helps to maintain secrecy. Oral communication is helpful in group discussions, group communication. It is very true. You can speak to a large audience at once. This is true. Uh, this is also one of the very important virtues of oral communication that it offers you, offers effectiveness to your discourse. We know that oral communication is quite effective in comparison to other types of communication. It takes care of your freedom of speech and expression. This is also true. When it comes to writing, you become conscious. But when you use oral mode of communication, you are likely to be spontaneous, you are likely to be natural, and so you can express your real feelings, your real thoughts, and so it caters your interests, and then it also cares for your freedom of speech and expression. Now, different shades of meanings can be conveyed very effectively. We know that we are face to face in oral communication, and we have sufficient time at our hand, and so we can convey each and every shade of meaning very effectively by using oral communication. Uh, this communication can be tuned in according to listeners' comprehension. We actually this has been discussed earlier. that if we find something easy or something difficult on part of audience, then we can change the level of our discourse, the level of our message according to the need and necessity of your audience. So this is also a very important feature or advantage of oral communication. It offers you flexibility. Useful in addressing a large group of people. This is also discussed earlier. Now here are some disadvantages of oral communication. Poor attention. We know that our oral discourses might be very effective. They are influencing, but uh, they may not be remembered for a longer time because not all the time we maintain our retention, and so most of the message may be lost. So this is one of the very important disadvantages of oral communication. We see that no record or no legal validity of this type of communication, as it cannot be recorded, as you cannot take it as a legal proof, produce it as a legal proof, and therefore it may be very effective, it may be very good even, but it may not be produced as a legal proof. It is time consuming, it is true. If the speaker is a little lax and if he or she likes to speak more and more, then he is likely to consume more time. So it is time consuming. Then misunderstandings can be carried for a longer time in case of oral communication because uh, a speaker keep on speaking, and if a listener do not understand a thing properly, a message properly, then he or she is likely to carry that misunderstanding for a longer time unless and until it is being addressed, unless and until it is being corrected. Uh, Lengthy messages can be very boring. We know that we cannot have a longer attention span, and if there are lengthy messages, then they can be boring. Lack of responsibility on part of speaker. A speaker may be a little bit exaggerating to impress audience, and so there is a little uh, laxity or a lack of responsibility on part of speaker. Imprecision. As I said earlier, that if a speaker likes to talk much, then he or she keep on talking unnecessarily. Sometimes he or she may not understand if the audience is catching up with him or her, and so to satisfy the audience, he or she may speak a little long, and automatically uh, it becomes imprecise. Now, disturbances may hinder communication. This is also true. A speaker may be effective, a message may be very important, but if you are being disturbed again and again, then both speaker and listener loses the tempo, and that kind of atmosphere cannot be created again. Longer speeches may not be effective, rather they will be boring. These are the disadvantages of oral communication. If you have any doubt or query, you can always put your doubt and queries on my personal WhatsApp number. For the time being, this is all from my side. So, thank you.